This is Dakota News Now.
On the air at 5:30. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen.
I'm Stan Wright. In less than a week, the ongoing fight over the proposed social studies standards in South Dakota, it could be over. The Board of Education Standards is set to hold its fourth and final meeting Monday in Pierre before voting on the issue.
But before then, educators all across the state are again voicing their opposition to the proposal, and they're calling for South Dakotans to be aware. Cooper Seamer with continuing coverage now here at 5:30. Cooper.
Brian and Sam, the South Dakota School Superintendents Association is making a final call to action to the board, asking them to vote against the proposed social studies standards that have had overwhelming negative feedback.
For testimony.
In an open letter, the South Dakota School Superintendents Association is asking the Board of Education Standards to strike down the divisive proposed social studies standards that have been in consideration since August. Association President Summer Schultz says even after 3 public meetings and hundreds of public comments against the standards, not much has changed to address those concerns.
I worry that even though there's been tremendous opposition, I just worry we're not much farther along in making this a statewide effort to make the best standards we could.
Those concerns include a return to rote memorization of historical events and figures, a method that Schultz says won't challenge students the way it's intended.
I've been in education a long time, and I don't believe that more standards and more listing and more retelling and more timelines, that sort of thing, more doesn't always mean better.
And the increased content will require more time to teach and cut into course time for other graduation requirements.
I worry that there's some things lacking and there's some things that are going to take away from other areas that our state historically has said are important for kids to learn.
Schultz says the association is instead asking the board to revisit the proposed standards from 2021 as a new starting point to work from.
At least take a look at what was created and give that a fair process before we throw it all out for these new standards that were created without South Dakota necessarily in mind at the time.
Now, we did reach out to the Department of Education for comment on the open letter for the story, and we did not receive a response in time before the story aired.